One. Hello, everybody. We are live. Yay. This is Joann Lysiak, and I'm here with Yvette Rose.
Hello. And no technical issues at all. We got started with no problems. Besides me being a little late, we were
So this is so appropriate. Our topic is stress. And we had a little bit of our own little stress here. So welcome, everybody. So today we're continuing on. This is part 3. And this is our series on stress. But today what we're going to focus on is we're going to focus on food. And we're going to talk about how food impacts stress or causes stress. And then on the other hand, how stress impacts the food that we eat as well. So we're going to spend about 30 minutes or so here with you today and share information that we've kind of uncovered on our own journey, because certainly we've had, I can speak for myself, I had my bouts of stress. You heard my story when I had to rush myself to the ER with a panic attack when I was 26. So, we got stress, no doubt about it. So let me tell you what I do and how I help people if you're new. And if you're here live, if you could just give a shout out to us, let us know who's here. Write in the comments your name, where you're from, any questions you have, or anything that you would like us to talk about today regarding food and regarding stress. But what I love to do is I love to help people by teaching them how to nourish their mind and body, and really to connect the mind and body together. And I really work with people to clear out the limiting beliefs they have. If you've heard the last 2 sessions, you know that what I really like to do is work with people to clear out the limiting beliefs and then help them establish new beliefs so they can then, line up their beliefs with their aspirations and achieve what they want in their life. And I'm a nutritionist, I'm an energy worker, kind of combine the two, and helping my clients in an intuitive way as well. And Yvette, if you would introduce yourself.
Hello. So if at all you believe that you are what you eat, that is totally my philosophy. I use nutrition as the foundation of working through helping people in their lifestyles and their health goals. And nutrition, I say I use nutrition as a foundation because I truly believe that you are what you eat. And I'd say like the most recent is doing a cleanse myself, after a 14-day cleanse, and I ended up getting sick, and I ended up being really lethargic, and I ended up just feeling really weak. And what I realized is, even though I eat healthy, my environment is very toxic. And so the free radicals that are living in my body, by providing it these different kind of superfoods and anti-inflammatory ingredients, especially when you do it as a cleanse, where you are strict for a few days consecutive, it allows you to reconnect with your body and your mind. It allows your body to replenish itself, your hormones replenish themselves, your brain replenishes itself. It just allows you to give your body some nutrients so that it's not in this constant state of going, and feeding it lots of processed toxic crap. So it's interesting because Joann mentioned the stress, and Joann, I have to say it's been a really interesting journey, hitting 45 and doing what I do for a living. It really holds value in that you need to understand the place that you're at right now and what are the things that you need to shift in order for it to work in the lifestyle in where you are today. For instance, I'm 45, I'm in perimenopause, and I was working my way towards veganism, and I was really struggling and finding myself getting sick a lot. And after going to the doctor and getting blood work done, I found that I was low in iron, and I was low in a lot of my amino acids. And so it's readjusting. It's like understanding, when we're in this state of fight or flight, we get so used to it that we don't realize that we are working from a place of stress, that we are working from a place of anxiety, because it just becomes the norm for us. You just feel like you do. And I have to say, another interesting thing that just happened is I put a client through a 14-day cleanse, and he was so uncomfortable with the uncomfortableness that he felt during that, and posted that it felt foreign to him, and it was almost as if I would like to speak for him and say that it was almost as if he thought that the foods were doing this to his body, but what actually is happening is this whole cleanse process, this whole detox. This is why we call it a detox, because it really brings a darkness up, right? You assume that you're going to be healthy and feel amazing, but what it actually does is it can, depending on how toxic your body is, it can bring that darkness, that those free radicals up, and they show their face in some form of weakness, in some form of achy pains, in some form of headachy, like all of these different symptoms. And I know that we can get really comfortable with suppressing these emotions and feelings, but I guarantee you that you can only suppress those feelings for so long before they show up as disease.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? I mean, Joann, you do a lot with cleansing and detoxing, right? What would you have to say with that whole, the stress that, this free radical puts on our bodies, and then, having to, then you put someone on a cleanse, and you sort of, you look at their lifestyle and you think it's healthy, but then what you don't realize is, they live in New York City, or, there's a lot of other elements, or they have high stress jobs. And so all of these things that we've been talking about are part of it.
Yeah, you can't just look at your situation now, because you have to look at where did you start out too? What happened when you were a child? What were you eating then? Because that's why everybody's different, because if we're eating the same now, that's not going to be enough, because I ate differently than you did when I was a kid. And if I was eating, pretzels and cake for breakfast and cereals and stuff, then I have a different composition than somebody who was maybe eating healthy their whole life. And then you add the stress factor in it, which is from your belief system, which is your patterns and how you look at things, because what is stressful for one person is not stressful for another, And so we're all different in so many ways. And so we look at our stress and what's stressful for us. That's how you have to look at it, because it's not a generic picture that stress is just this one thing that is for everybody the same way. Everybody considers something different stressful. It's their response to it. But with foods, we tend to eat foods when we're stressed that comforts us, because again, it's the emotional attachment to it. So we tend to do that, and they may not be the best foods for us. So when you're stressed, sometimes you grab the wrong foods because you're like, I just got to eat something because I don't have time, or I'm eating the things that make me feel good. And so maybe I'm going to go for the chocolate chip cookie. And in a time of stress, that's probably the worst thing you could do, because you're not giving your body nutrition. You're giving it just some empty carbs, and that creates more stress on your body. And so it's important that you really, when you're stressed, here's what happened to me. This was I really don't put myself in this kind of a position, but this last weekend, I had an event to go to with my mom, and I picked her up. So I had to go into traffic, rush hour traffic. It was raining. I live by Wrigley Field. There was a Cubs game going on. So it was compounded, all this stuff. And I know that traffic is my trigger for stress. So I avoid it, right? I avoid it at all possible costs. Well, I put myself in the middle of it in the worst possible way on Friday. And I had a lot of things going on with work, so I didn't even eat. So here I am stressed, and I'm picking my mom up, and we're in this major traffic jam. And so what I started doing my techniques. I started doing the deep breathing technique to calm myself down. I put in my favorite salsa music to calm me down, because it was happy music, right? And then I did some clearing to clear out what was going on emotionally, to put me in a better place. And then I was able to strategize and figure out a better plan to get us where we needed to go with, to get us there on time. And so what I did, though, that night after the whole event, we did eat dinner, and I had a good dinner. But what I did that night was I loaded myself up with good nutrition. I made myself a smoothie, and I just loaded it with all kinds of greens and all kinds of green powders and all kinds of healthy things, because I knew that I was really stressed, and that was zapping my nutrients. And so I loaded myself up with the nutrients before I went to bed. So at least I was kind of pampering my body.
Okay, you know what? It's interesting. So here we are. You're speaking about this. You and I have both mentioned this idea of the nutrients to help supplement the excessive stress. And so I last week I had said that I wanted to bring in some foods and why we would choose certain kinds of foods during certain times of your like I said, depending on the moment that you're in. And so when you're in when you're in a high stressful situation, there are certain ingredients that you just really want to keep away from. And then there's certain ingredients that, like you said, you want to replenish yourself. Can you please explain why you chose the green powdery stuff?
Yeah. When you are in a state of stress, you are creating toxins in your body. It's toxic to the body. These negative thoughts are toxic. You are actually putting yourself in the fight or flight, and you're creating an acidic condition in your body. Your pH becomes acidic, which creates disease and makes you sick. And when people are under a lot of stress, that's when they usually get a cold. That's when they usually can't sleep. And then they have all these compounded issues that then impact your immune system. So I knew that stress level, even though I managed it for that time being, it stressed my body and it created an acidic situation in my body. And to counteract that, I put in the alkaline greens to make my body more alkaline and counteract any of the stress that I had. I did not have sugar. That would be one of the worst things you could do is when you're stressed is to grab sugar because that's acidic. Coffee is acidic. Anything that's highly acidic, sodas, because that is adding to the acidic condition already. So I wanted to counterbalance it by using the greens, and then it was a green smoothie. So I had like blueberries in there, which are also antioxidants, and I put the high density nutrients in there to counteract it, to give me the alkaline, to make me more alkaline in my body so that I wouldn't compromise my immune system from the stress. And I was building up my immune system.
That's interesting. It's funny because I realize that in health, we all think about it as if it's in this present moment, right? It's like, you know what? I've been eating healthy. Why did I get sick? Especially when I did the cleanse, I couldn't have been healthy. I was eating like whole avocados and apples, and then you get sick because it's not about what you're doing at this present moment. What Joann is saying and what I'm saying is this preparation, right? It's creating this ritual for yourself and understanding that you have depleted your body of something, and so you need to incorporate something so that you can replenish it. It's not saying that you should deprive yourself of cookie isn't something that you want to grab when you are in a state of anxiety and stress. That's when you need to really have that set that boundary for yourself. And it's like it's called self-love.
Yeah.
Self, you understand that the value of that cookie is a momentary self-sabotaging thing. It will make you feel good for a second. However, the impact that it has on your body is longer term. And so when you think about life in that manner, understand when you're sitting there with your kids and you're enjoying, night dessert and the cookies, that's a whole different, that's not a stressful situation, right? That's a ritual that you have in coming together. It's different. So I think, there's philosophies that I believe that you can sort of create for yourself so that you can understand when and if I am in a stressful situation, I normal and what is it that I need to do to make sure that I don't give into them. Right?
That's exactly it, is that you're going to have offense. You're an offensive person. You're taking care of yourself. You're understanding your situation. You have the awareness, and then you're going to take like measures to work with it, knowing what you've got. And then eat the right foods. And so the next day when I woke up really great. I could have woken up with feeling like I was getting sick because I had all that stress.
Or hungover. Yeah. Sometimes I wake up and I feel like I'm hungover and I'm like, but I didn't drink last night.
So I didn't have those symptoms because I loaded up with greens. I loaded up with blueberries. I hydrated myself with coconut water. I put hemp seeds in there, which is a superfood that I love to use. So I had so many good nutrients in that drink. So the next day when I woke up, I felt really good. And, I kind of learned a lesson. It was like, all right, I'm not going to put myself in that situation again, right? Because I put myself right in the midst of it, and I'm going to think a little bit more in advance next time I make plans like that. But nonetheless, you have to really think about it, because it would have been easy just to grab something. It would have been easy for me to grab some junk food, which I don't have, but I could have stopped somewhere and gotten it. But I said to my mom, it's really important that we have dinner. And so we did. We had a really good dinner, even though, we were like, all right, everything's going to work out fine, but we really need to take care of ourselves. And so we did. And everything worked out perfectly fine. And I was great. And, got out of that situation and made the best of it. But that's the thing with stress, is that when you are stressed, you want to make sure that you're supplementing yourself with good food, good nutrients, and nutrient-dense food. Here's another thing that I learned on my journey about stress. When you're stressed and you're in the fight or flight mode, because it triggers that fight or flight response, your body in that fight or flight wants to conserve energy, because typically, when it started with the fight or flight, it was because you were literally, our ancestors, the cavemen, were fleeing from tigers, bears, other, territorial people after them. And so they needed to then take off. So your adrenals kick in, and you just go faster than ever. Well, because of that survival mechanism, your body shuts down certain processes, and so that you have the energy to run. And so what happens when you have just stress from like this traffic, it suppresses your digestion. It shuts it down. So you're not digesting your food. So when you're stressed and you're grabbing for food and you're eating the bad things, especially, your body shuts down digestion. And so you can't digest your food properly. And so literally it's rotting in your intestines. And so that happens.
The belly fat, hence the belly fat that happens.
Yeah, because you're not digesting.
So then it becomes fat. And the truth is, number one killer of women is heart disease. I mean, we always hear men having heart attacks, but yet, heart disease affects women. And so when we're talking about fat, and speaking of perimenopause and menopause, you're talking about as you get 30 plus, and your metabolism starts slowing down and your body starts attracting itself to more and more fat. When you're adding stress into your life, you notice as the years go on that there is this fat layer that just continues to grow, and you think that it's become part of who you are, but it's not. It's caused by, it's a byproduct of your lifestyle, which is not just the foods that you eat, but the way you eat your foods and how your body was feeling when you ate those foods. I have Joann, I last week I had mentioned that I was going to do this list, and I have the list. And the first thing on my list is the green leafy veggies, which is interesting that you spoke about the greens. And basically they say green leafy vegetables are mood regulating neurotransmitters that includes serotonin and dopamine. So they said they gave green leafy vegetables to people who were suffering from depression, and they saw that it actually enhanced and made their moods better. Mm-hmm. Another one was pumpkin seeds and organic eggs, which are rich sources of tryptophan, right? Which is an amino acid that converts into serotonin. So there are, if you want a list of ingredients, just PM us. You can PM Joann or message me. I have to forward this into my social media. I haven't done it yet, but and I'll send you the list of foods. But there's a whole bunch of different foods. There's fermented foods that impacts your mental health because it helps to cleanse out your guts, and it has been shown to help with anxiety and depression. There's the fish that is really super fatty because, again, the omegas, which helps it helps to calm the brain cells. The blueberries, it's interesting. You mentioned blueberries. Again, blueberries helps the production of dopamine. So, and my favorite, it's who was I with the other? Oh, so I had my women's coaching group the other day, and we were talking about different methods of being able to get yourself to do tasks and that you really don't like to do, but to reward yourself, do that task in a time frame and have a reward ready for yourself so that you can stay focused. And my favorite is dark chocolate. I will put a bar of dark chocolate in my kitchen, cut it up in pieces, and for each task that I complete, I give myself a reward. And I have to say, it does really. I feel good.
I know. I love chocolate too. In fact, I learned. I put it on my Facebook page, some chocolate that I made, and it was with raw cacao, and I didn't put any sugar in it. It was amazing, and I bring it over for like events and parties. But you can make really healthy foods that are amazing, that are so good for you, and that's what I love to do. I love to throw dinner parties, and when I have events here, or else I go to people's homes and I bring some like amazing things that they have no idea how healthy they are, because I turn recipes into healthy recipes. And my chocolate is one of them. And then the other thing that I love to bring to people's homes is I have my kale chips. And these are dehydrated, so they're raw and they've got the enzymes in it and the nutrients. And so I bring the kale chips and people like gobble it down and they're like, what is this? But you can make really good foods, and I like that reward.
Your healthy food over here. I don't know.
In fact, I just had my green smoothie. I was looking for it here. I just had my mango green smoothie for my lunch.
I love it.
But that's the thing, is that when you actually take in these foods, you actually feel really good. And that's the thing, is that people think that I'm eating bad foods that taste wise. I was like, no, you have no idea. So I have a 3-day.
I don't agree with you. I have to say, I'm totally going to be honest and raw. I don't agree with you. I have to come to terms with, when I drink this chlorophyll water, I am grateful for the chlorophyll and the healing energies that it will bring into my body. But I do not like chlorophyll. I do not like acai. I do not like goji berries. And the chia seeds, they wig me out, those little, but so it's funny because there's this other side. It looks beautiful and it photographs beautiful, and like you said, there are definitely people like you that love it and will. And I would much rather have some oysters and French fries and a martini. And it's come in my life where, I'm 45. I have 2 kids. I have an 8-year-old that I need to see through college, and I hope to at least get to meet my grandkids. And I look at life, and my yoga teacher is almost she's 77 years old, and if I can be that, if I can be 77 like that, where you're hiking and she has her name is Beryl Bender Birch, and she rides her horses, or I don't know if she still does that, but I mean, she's everywhere in the world, and if you think about longevity, if you think about, if you can see yourself in the future, if you can see what you aspire to have for yourself. I mean, look at how beautiful Joann is. I have no idea how old she is, and I don't know that I can even guess how old she is. You just go, that's who I want to be like. I aspire to feel young. I aspire to move, and I aspire to just, know my body well enough to know that when it's been triggered by hormones, like last night, you got the email from me at 1:30 in the morning. I went into a full state of panic, and I go to the bathroom and I got my period, and I was like, wow. I was so disconnected to what was happening to me emotionally that I thought those feelings that I was having were real. And so, that's what I just aspire. And I think, for my clients, for you, whoever's watching this, Joann and I are putting this effort and energy to spend this time, our time and our education and our knowledge with you, because we really want that for you. We really want you to have the opportunity to look at your life from, right, Joann? I mean, what else is it about?
Yeah, well, that's the thing, is that we definitely we all have a journey that we're on, and I've had my journey, and I've learned, and don't get me wrong, it's not like people, you need to know that I do eat cake. Okay, I do eat, carrot cake. I do eat pizza.
I inspire to feel like you. I feel good.
No, I do. But here's what I do. I have learned that you can have those foods, like I make my carrot cake, and I use it gluten-free flour, and I don't use sugar. I use coconut sugar, and I use coconut oil. I make it healthy. And when I serve it, they don't even know the difference, because I know how to make things, because I used to be an amateur cook. I used to do that for myself. I used to have all these, great recipes that were very gourmet and have my parties that way. And now I take those recipes and I make it healthier. But I had a pizza, and my pizza was organic. It was gluten-free, and it was like this Italian style pizza, which I love. So I don't give things up. I just swap out for healthier. I go one notch healthier, one notch healthier, one notch healthier. But I'm not going to go and get a bad pizza. I'm going to get a really good, high quality pizza that I know is organic cheese, vegetables. I know that, and I'm going to have that, and I'm going to be in heaven eating that. Because I don't eat bad food. I don't eat poor quality food ever, 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 because it doesn't taste good. Why would I eat it? I'm going to go for the good quality food. So like my philosophy on food is that I think you have to look at the person and eat the right foods for you. Every person's different. And so I muscle test people, and I can tell them what's good for them based on their experiences, what they've eaten, their overall situation with their health and their organs and their glands. So I'll muscle test, and I'll be able to help them instead of guessing. But I believe that we should be eating pure foods, nothing adulterated, nothing man-made. I believe we should eat according to what nature provided, eat the highest quality. I eat grass-fed beef, grass-fed lamb, wild salmon. I eat it as close as nature had intended, and I use pure ingredients. Everything is organic that I'm eating because it tastes good. It's good for me, and it tastes good. And that's really my philosophy. I don't, so many nutritionists, they just like to be in a box and go, you've got to eat only this, or you've got to eat only this. And then the raw food enthusiasts are fighting with the Weston Price people who are eating raw dairy and raw meat. And they're fighting because they're like totally against each other. And then you got the vegans against, the people that
vegetarians and
yeah, it's crazy because, I gave up meat for 15 years. And it was a good choice at that time. But then it came to a place where 3 different people that I went to for my health, which are all natural health practitioners, 3 people within like a month's time told me I need to start eating meat again. All 3. I didn't want to eat meat again, but after that 3rd one told me that, I said, there must be some truth to this. Let me eat meat again. So I had grass-fed bison. A friend of mine had a bison tartare that he made. I was at a party, and he said, here, have some. I was hesitant in doing that, and then I'm like, okay, I'm supposed to eat meat again. Let me do it. So I had some, and let me tell you, that was the best thing for my body. I felt it. My body was like, no, what are you kidding me? This is amazing. Thank you. Why did you wait so long? So it was good for me. So do I eat meat now? Yes, I do. So, I was afraid to tell my vegetarian friends, vegan friends, because they're thinking I wasn't eating meat, because they would judge me. Well, I don't really care. I'm eating what's best for myself, and I eat high quality foods, and I eat organic and grass fed and wild, and I feel great. I take digestive enzymes. I eat a lot of raw food. I eat a lot of vegetables. My goal is to consume 6 cups of vegetables a day, and I'm pretty much doing that. So I'm eating really good quality foods, and that's what I believe in. That's what I believe in.
I was at a friend's house the other day who's diagnosed with cancer, and so she's going through cancer treatment, and she's grocery store for the first time to do all organic. And I was like, it was expensive, wasn't it? She's like, oh my God. I said, but here's the benefit of that. You will eat a lot less because it is super expensive, and you'll realize, you don't need that much, right? Your body just, it really, if you're providing it with a well-balanced, nutrient-based diet, like I said, preparing for those times when you're going to be hormonal and providing your body the proper nutrients during that time, providing your body the proper nutrients during stressful times, the proper nutrients before bedtime. It's like all of these. It's just educating. And again, if you don't, if you struggle with trying to figure it out, you don't need to. Joann and I are here to partner with you. And Joann wrote me something really beautiful. I just want to, Joann, do you mind if I share?
No, go ahead.
Okay. Let me pull it up here. It was really, really beautiful. Here's what she wrote. Our clients are responsible for their lives. They get the credit for their successes, and they get the credit for their results. They do the work. We are their partner in the process to help figure it out with them. They are detoxing. They will have reactions to change, whether emotion, physical, or both. You know in your heart you are doing good for them. We will help each other figure it out for success. I have to tell you, Joann, when I read that, it really reminded me that putting the ego aside, when we go through this journey with you as a client, and I'm not speaking to Joann, I'm speaking to whoever's watching this, as we go through this journey with you as a client, we will provide you with the most education, with the most, ritualistic practices that we have available to us. Joann does energy healing, and I base a lot of my stuff on detoxing programs. And so we will do our best. It is really, truly up to you on how you're going to show up to do the work for that. And that's, Joann and I are both part of a business coaching program, and we doing. The people that are showing up and doing the most work are the people that are seeing the most success. The people that are and again, we're all in the place where we're supposed to be. Nothing against myself, because I'm one of those who's falling behind. But you have to know that it does require work. This isn't just something that it's gonna happen overnight, and that there is gonna be darkness. You're going to realize, and sometimes disease will show its face, and that's just gonna be part of the journey. But having someone like Joann and I that is educated and that spends our nights and days learning new recipes, tricking our body when our body is looking for something bad, tricking our body to give it something good, and seeing what works and what doesn't work, going to those workshops, staying in touch with the influencers. We do all of that so that we can provide you with the most information in whatever journey and place that you're at. And Joann, thank you very much for that email. It really put things in perspective.
Well, good. I'm glad it did. And it is really true. We do study a lot. I know myself, I've spent so many years, studying, and I've selected the best people to study with. And I know I saw that you had gone to the College of Integrative Nutrition, and that's like top notch. And I know that you spend a lot of time researching. Plus, we have our own experiences.
And I saw I couldn't believe how many hours and hours I spent on all of these certifications and workshops and I'm 500 hours certified for yoga and meditation. And it's like hours and hours and it's a constant, right? You got to constantly do the workshops. You got to constantly stay in the loop.
Yeah, you do. And so we do that because we love it. This is my passion. This is my purpose. I really love the work that I do. And once we go through all of this, we kind of figure things out. We start putting all the pieces of the puzzle together for our lives. And then we have really a lot to offer because we've done it. We've been there. I've done it. I've had a couple big wake-up calls in my life, and I've done the birthday cake for breakfast and the bag of pretzels, and when I was in high school a day, and the soda pop and all that. We've done it all. And other things. We've had the stress and kind of got ourselves through that. And we're here to share with you and to work with you. And I really learned that we're really a team. We're working together. And when you are working with somebody, because here's the thing, you could take this information that we're telling you now and you could do nothing with it. Or you can take it and maybe try to figure it out yourself. But here's the thing, what happens is that we've spent a lot of money, thousands and thousands of dollars, and lots of hours learning all this information. And it's certainly out there for you. But to weed through it all and figure it all out takes time and takes money. And we're here to work with you so that you can have the best success ever. But it does take your effort and energy to change. And that's the investment. It's not the money. That's the investment. It's actually your energy and it's your effort to do it. Because when you put the energy and effort in there, you will have the great results. That's the way it works. It works that way in the universe, right? What you reap, you sow, or what you sow, you reap.
Energy goes.
Yeah, where attention goes. So you will get that. It's cause and effect. So put the effort into it, and we're here to help you and to work with you as a partner. Because when you work together with somebody, it's the mastermind concept. So you know how they said 2 brains are better than 1, 2 minds are better than 1? Well, that's the concept. You are actually working with another person, and that creates another mind, and that becomes a synergistic effect. So we can figure things out much better when you're working with another person. And that's why you want to do that. And that's why, coaching really helps when you're working with another person. And, myself, the thing that I'm doing is my next class that I'm doing, it's a 3-day detox. And I've been doing this for a while already. But this particular one is my last live one for the summer. And then I'll come back in fall. This one's special because I'm actually doing emotional clearing with it. Because you have emotions attached to food. You have emotions attached to weight. You have emotions attached to detoxing. And so this particular one, I am going to have 3 live calls where I'm going to be doing emotional clearing as well. And there's some visualization exercises and audios that I'm giving people as part of this. So this detox is simple. It's very simple. It's 3 days of some delicious smoothies. You're giving up some of the bad things for food. And I've got a special offer now. I'm going to have a link on here for people. But for you to get a free gift from me, it's the 5 food toxins, the 5 top food toxins, or how these particular foods are toxifying your body and stressing your body. And then I have my plan for the detox in there so you can take a look at it. And then I have a smoothie. So you get to see what I'm doing. You get to see, make the smoothie and see if you can do this for 3 days. And there's a good test for you. Get the free gift, the checklist with all of this, and you could make the smoothie recipe and see if this is for you. And that'll happen in a weekend, in 1 week. It's in June, first weekend in June. So I'll put the link up for everybody. If you'd like to have a free session with me, a strategy call, discovery session, so that you can see what your options are, you can reach out to me at Joann, Joann, at empowercoachingnetwork.com, and you can reach me. That's my email. And just reach out to me and let me know that you're interested in having a strategy session. And I'm going to turn it over to Yvette because I know that she also has ways and things that she's offering to help people as well. But you know what? I'd be really honored to be working with you. Whatever your situation is, together we can figure it out and get you at a really good place.
Yeah, I believe I definitely I love that Joann incorporates the energy work into her stuff. My so I if you'd like to do a strategy call with me, it's just message in the Facebook and connect, and I'll send you the link. It's yvetterose.com/contact, and working with me, it's really about helping to create these rituals to detox the habits that you've brought into your life that are affecting your health or your lifestyle. And
Yeah.
and like Joann said, it is I'm still fairly new with doing lifestyle coaching. I used to do personal training, been a yoga teacher, I've been nutrition coaching for a long time, but this whole idea of lifestyle coaching is fairly new, and although I do like it, I would say that it isn't easy. And it's not just not that it's not easy for me, it isn't easy for you, because when you bring somebody into your life that's telling you you're doing that wrong, that's affecting your health poorly, that's affecting your, you just you're sort of getting called out there, and it's not an easy thing to get called out, because it's easier for us to live in hiding and act as if it's all good and it's all okay. So working with me, you're working with a lifestyle coach that's basically going to look at it's the trifecta approach, right? It's your food, mood, and your movement, and so that's how it works. But Joann, thank you so much for the opportunity. I love doing this. I'm super excited that we have been able to continue doing this, and I look forward to. If you have an idea of what you would like to hear us talk about next week, please message us. I mean, we can go on and on about stress, because honestly, stress is, you have absolutely no idea what it's doing to your body, because it is the hidden disease. It is in hiding, and then all of a sudden you go to the doctor and you're like, holy shit, how did I get that sick?
Yeah.
And then you can just do a rewind in your life and see where it all began. So anyway, Joann, I look forward to doing this again with you next Thursday, and I hope that everyone has an amazing holiday. Enjoy. New York, the weather sucks, so if you're in the East Coast, you'll be with me. Not sure. But Stephen says, hello, Joann.
Yes, hello, Stephen. I see you there. Hello. And also the people that are listening on the replay, we would love it if you would also check in, put your name, where you're from, and any questions or comments, and we would love to answer your questions. And I just want to leave you with this, on a really positive note here. I totally believe that your body can heal itself. That's what it's designed to do. When you get a paper cut, your body heals itself. The body just needs to be put in a position where it can heal itself. And that's where we come in. We actually will help you get to a place where your body can then heal. So we're going to give you great lifestyle tips to help you. But here's the thing that I've seen. I have people right now that I'm working with that are in a place where they don't want to be, because it's very scary what's going on with their health. They're at a place where it's a crisis now. And so now they're looking for lifestyle examples that they can change their lifestyle so that they can be healthier. So they're looking at eating, they're looking at their thoughts, they're looking at their water intake, they're looking at their sleep. I'm working with them on all those areas. And it's a lot, because they're in a critical state and they are under doctor care, but they need to change.
I have to go because it's my father-in-law's birthday, and I have to get driving. But I love you. Amazing. And I'm going to go if you want to.
All right. Thank you. Have a good holiday. So here's the thing that I want to leave with all of you, is that you can take the steps now to get in a place where you're in charge of your health. So you can do the lifestyle changes now so that you keep yourself in a really good, healthy state. And then you can avoid the scariness. Or if you do get, illness and sick, you're in a good place because you can make some adjustments and tweaks and get yourself back to a healthy state. And so that's really more encouraging, is when you are keeping yourself in a healthy state by living your life with the right lifestyle choices. So I want to thank everybody for being here. And again, we will put the links here for you so you can get your free gifts from us. And then also there's strategy sessions, discovery sessions. So everybody, thank you for being here. And replayers, thank you for listening to us. And we will be here next week with another Facebook Live. Bye, everybody. Have a great weekend.